The Moorhere settlement should be a little further to the north.
How long have the Moorhere been living here?
Well, they left Finn and Mir about 30 years ago, and they were sent to settle here 8 years after their arrival. So that's 22 years now.
Pretty long, considering Leafshade was just meant to be a stopover.
I'm sure they feel the same way.
All right, then.
Well,
Good. Then lead the way. Whatever's necessary.
Yes.
Let me recover!
Will do.
Sure.
Fine.
Interesting. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
That way?
Finally. Got it. Understood.
Child play. Not now, I can't. Really? Fine.
Zarek guides me.
Got it. Let's see.
Is that all? Is that all?
Interesting.
Shit! Help me for heck's sake!
Finally.
Shit! Help me for heck's sake!
Let's burn them.
Just give the word.
Damn it! I need healing.
Shit! Help me for heck's sake!
Help me!
Help me for heck's sake!
Will do.
They killed one of our heroes!
Come on. Don't die on us now. What's next? What?
So, what's the plan? You got it.
Is this the village?
Should be. And don't ask me why there's no one guarding the entrance.
There have been, until some hours ago. They're further down in the village.
Can't believe we're still having this discussion. Tell me, Arlen, where was Ellen in all those years when our people were on the run? Just face it, she never helped us. None of the Guardians did.
Well, maybe they would have if it weren't for heretics like you. We are Ellen's children, all of us.
We are the children of our mothers and our fathers, for heck's sake. If you are so pious, then why did you leave Finn and Mir in the first place? What we need is rationality and reason, not praying to the gods that have left us.
Heresy, Vardant. This is heresy.
Now would you look at that?
Salangar, a pure blood. Just when I thought this day...
Not what I'd call myself. I haven't been in Finn and Mir for 8...
Is that so? Who let you in?
There weren't any guards.
What? But please, forgive my manners. Who are you? And what do you want? Are you with the soldiers?
Soldiers?
The army folk. But if you have to ask, I suppose you're on your own.
That's a long story.
So you're the corporal from Lianon? Well, that's a surprise. I know the story. And once more, I would like to apologize for what Scryer Elion did. She should not have opened fire. And also, I would like to express my admiration for your courage. I know you refused.
How?
A scout observed the conversation you had with that man. Either way, your story sounds bizarre, but I don't think you are lying. And after the events in Lianon, it's only not to mention the fact that the Bloodburn needs...
So you'll provide...
It's not that simple. I have to bring up the matter before the other scryers, and they all have to agree. But not now. We currently have our own sack of problems.
Are you the leader?
One of them, yes. I'm the second scryer, and the Moorhere Council is made up of 6 scryers in total. 7, which complicates the decision-making, as you can imagine.
What problems do you...
The short version? Leafshade has been struck by the Bloodburn. Elves and animals are affected, and for some reason it has a different effect on us than it has on your race. It corrupts? Drives us mad. And if that weren't enough, the Council can't decide on a course of action.
Where do you
Oh, that's simple. Finrior claims that the corruption has nothing to do with the Bloodburn, but is a curse of the Guardians.
I take it you have a...
I do. The Guardians...
So where do you...
As I said, I think it's...
How many of you are...
Not as many as in your kind. 1 in 10, maybe. And for some reason, the infection only spreads outside the city borders.
As I said, I'm trying to...
You want this alliance to happen as quick as possible, don't you? Well, yeah. Give me a moment to think this through, will you? There are some things I need...
All right. We should probably...
What? Who are you?
The gate was unguarded.
Really? Next thing you know, this place is being overrun by undead because the guards have all gathered. You're from Gravefell, aren't you? I recognize that accent. I'm Arlen Finriar, first scry...
I'm looking for allies, but let me start from the beginning.
Ah, so, you're Isamo Tahar's child. Well, and it's true that the Bloodburn has to be...
So you're...
I would if I could. But as you may have gathered by now, we have
Who is the other elf?
a misguided fool. And sadly one with a very influential father, who made him the second scry of this...
Does this...
It does. Lathwain, which roughly translates as respite.
Respite? Sounds kind of
Well, it is. I don't know how familiar you are. Then the Mage Wars came, and understandably our promised home wasn't of importance.
That incident in Leonon won't make the Lord Marshal more sympathetic to your cause.
Yes, and it was particularly... And what good did it do?
This looks like...
Well, save for the undead roaming through the forests and attacking us each night.
I see.
Yes. We will find our true home
Ellen has cursed you?
Yes.
And you think Ellen has inflicted this...
I know. Briefly...
Yes.
As you can... And as a result of that, more...
Well, you can't deny that the Guardians...
That is true.
I guess you...
Yes, indeed.
You're assuming the Guardians behave like little children. Take away their sweet...
It's not that simple.
Probably not.
And what...
Isn't it obvious? It's Ellen's...
You mean...
Yes. Ellen has protected...
Isn't it more likely...
No, but also, why does it...
If it is a curse by Ellen...
In other words...
It's true. Sometimes...
Well, all we need to do is to trust in Ellen.
If you're the first scryer, why do you...
Because that's how the Moria law demands it.
What do the other scryers think about that?
4. 2 of them are with me, 2 with Merilith.
If we help you lift this curse...
Well, the Bloodburn is a scourge for...
Now what?
Well, if there's any way to get these whiteskins on our side, it's by helping them cure this corruption.
We won't know if we don't try. For what it's worth, I think we should ally ourselves with Merilith. The other one is too backwards looking for my liking.
Then let's let them know.
A Leveran, aren't you? It's been a while since we got visitors. If you don't count those soldiers, that is.
Well, the short version is...
Are you sure you came to the right...
Why wouldn't I?
I just thought but
I'm not as pure...
Be that as it may. Best you talk to Finrior and Merilith, the first and second Scryer. Maybe they'll listen to you once they're done bickering.
Interesting.
That's better. Blasted, isn't it incredible how this old man is unwilling to see reason?
From his point of view, you're the one who's being stubborn. He seems to be a very pious man.
There's a difference between being pious and being deluded. Anyway, all the better you're here. Let's discuss how... What we need first is proof to convince Arlen. As long as he insists on fighting that plague in prayer shrines...
What kind of proof did you have in mind?
That remains to be seen. First of all, scout Leafshade's surroundings. Just like the Bloodburn. Secondly, there's a human military outpost nearby. To investigate... After the disaster in Lianan, the last thing we want is another breach of our...
Who are these?
As I said, I believe they are from the Royal Army. So far, our contact...
If it really is the Bloodburn...
I've asked myself the same question. But then I realized there's no point in worrying about it as long as that...
If the jungle is corrupted...
No, the infection doesn't happen instantaneously. If you were to stay longer, say for 2 or 3 days...
Very comforting.
All right.
Yes, and thank you. I appreciate your help.
Got it.
Zarek's fangs, they're acting like fools.
No argument there. Let's go talk to the soldiers and see if they let us into their territory to find that proof.
Finally.
A traveler. Don't get many in these parts. What do you want? If you're looking for shelter, you've come to the wrong place.
Who are you people? This is Elven territory, isn't it?
Huh. Elven territory, my arse. Just because the Moor here were allowed to put up their little town here doesn't mean they own the whole jungle. As for who we are, if you don't know, then you probably don't have any business here.
Can you let us in?
As I said, no. This isn't a roadside inn. Now, sod off.
Wait, not so fast. The Moor here sent us. It's important.
The Moor here, huh? All right, fine. Come in, but make it quick. We already have visitors, and they aren't too fond of your employers.
You should rethink your
Don't you think
position,
these
old
soldiers
man.
will recognize
The
you?
light doesn't show
doubt it.
mercy on those
Even
who
if they know
betray
General
it.
Nori is looking for me, they wouldn't know my face.
Well, maybe the light can show you the way out of my bloody camp instead.
You don't know who you're messing with.
Oh, I think I do. I'm messing with a bunch of renegade cutthroats who think they can walk into a camp of the Royal Army and make demands just because their lunatic leader told you so. So, one more time for the slow ones among us. We won't attack those elves. On the contrary, if you do as much as lay a finger on them, you'll have to deal with us too. Are we clear?
You...
Are we clear?
Yes.
What? Wait a moment. You? Gilbert Vilmas, 2nd Division Everlight Infantry, isn't it? Blazes. What are you doing here?
I think you're mistaking me for someone else. I'm not with the army.
Oh, am I? Could have sworn. Oh, well, never mind.
The guard let me in. My name is Tahar, and I'm with the Moor here from Lithuania. There's some...
Tahar? Like that sodding rebel mage bastard? Boy, I surely don't envy your name. Forentis Copper, 2nd rank sergeant. So, what news do you...
Well, I assume you've taken note of this strange plague going on in Leafshade. The elves have sent me to investigate it, and are asking for permission.
Granted.
Just like that?
What should I say? We need this plague gone as much as the Moor here. We've stayed away from the corrupted parts, aye, but we've nonetheless lost 3. Just don't do anything unwise, and you can walk freely within our sectors. One more thing, though. There is something that we need done, and I don't have any men to spare at the moment. Would you be willing to help us as a sign of goodwill?
You seem to be rather relaxed concerning...
Relaxed isn't the right word, but unlike that Bloodburn plague, this one is predictable.
So you don't think the Bloodburn is...
With the corruption? No, I doubt it. I mean, I'm not a healer, but the symptoms are very different.
Of course.
Well, it's simple. Since we made camp here, some of my men and women have contracted a nasty... We ordered a shipment of herbs from another outpost in the Utran lands, but it hasn't arrived. Would you be willing to...
Sure, any idea?
Aye. Do you have a map? Here. That...
Got it.
Well, it's not as if we're in a hurry, is it?
It never hurts to have additional allies. Now would you look at that?
Huh?
Who are you people? Nortander soldiers?
Aye, sure. Look, friend. I know what you are. A defiler. And if we weren't in the camp of that fucking coward right now, this conversation would go down a tad differently. So do yourself a favor and
I think these are Bane. Purity fanatics. The ones Clara warned us.
I heard that.
If you're not soldiers...
Business.
I'll leave you be...
Really?
Huh.
Just a traveler.
Ah, I see. Best you talk to Sergeant Copper.
Why put up...
Pardon my tongue, but that's none of your business.
Who are those
Well observed. They are Bane, you know, purity fanatics. And no, I have no fucking clue why Sergeant Copper let them in the first place.
All right.
Sure.
Oi, you. Wait a moment.
Me?
No, the Queen's golden tits. Say, does the name Bertrand Carpel ring a bell for you?
Why? What do you know about Bertrand?
Not much. Only that he came by our camp just this morning and told me he was looking for... Anyway, I told him I had no bloody idea what he was on about. So he left. But asked me to leave him, which heck knows why you did.
What's the message?
Just that he's up north somewhere, here in Leafshade, and that he'll be waiting there for you until dusk.
How did he know I...
Well, best you ask him that yourself, will you? I've got a shift to take care of.
Sure.
No!
Serious about this, aren't you?
Fine.
Interesting. I hope you have a good explanation for this.
I do. I'm Iana. I and those 5 men were hired to kill you.
You're assassins.
We are.
Who are you working for? How did you know we'd be here?
You weren't as hard to follow as you think, Tahar. And regarding your first question, Amaria Leonider.
The House of Leonider? But why?
Well, I hate to say it, but there are a lot of people who want you dead, Tahar. The question should be, why her? And I'm afraid I don't have an answer for that. I'm not paid to ask questions.
Sorry, but I don't understand. Why did you help us?
I'm afraid that's complicated. Do you prefer the short or the long version?
The short version.
I know that you are after a cure for the Bloodburn.
And that made you change your mind?
Yes. To be frank, I lost someone to the Bloodburn. Someone very close to me. And even though nothing is going to bring her back, in other words, I want to offer you my services.
That guard who sent us here, he mentioned a friend of—
Harm him? No. I don't even know who or where he is. Leonider gave us that name and told us it would be a good lure. So we paid that guard a handful of coins to tell you his story. That's it.
And just why should we trust you? You're a sellsword.
I can't tell you what to do or feel. But think of it this way. If I had want— Furthermore, word that the assassination failed will get around soon enough. And mark me a betrayer among my kind.
That friend you lost, who was it? How did she—
I would rather not talk about it.
How can you help us?
Well, judging from the trail of blood you left behind, this won't be your last battle. I can make sure they'll end in your favor.
Such as?
Such as the fact that you were plagued by guilt. It surrounds you like a dark, heavy fog.
Everybody has lost someone these days.
Maybe. Only you can know this. Long story short, I'm a dreamweaver.
A dreamweaver? I've heard that—
Close. Let us suffice to say that I feel and perceive differently than most.
Fair enough. Join us.
Thank you. There are some things I need to take care of before I'm fully at your disposal. I suggest you finish whatever business you have here, and then meet me at the route back to Iskander.
Will do.
Good. I will be waiting. And thank you for your trust.
Yes?
Will do.
Sure.
And off she goes.
For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. There's something strange about that woman. But she's telling the truth.
I need help over here.
Fine. Zarek guides me. Sure.
That way?
Will do.
Really? Uh-huh.
Understood.
treant. Ellen's reigns.
Blazes! What has happened to it?
Clouded. Dark fog. Dying. Please, you. Run. Run now.
Tahar? I don't like how it's looking at us. I think we should leave.
What the blazes was that? Why did it attack us?
The corruption. It must have taken hold of it.
That's odd. I get how this frenzy could be an elf's reaction to the Bloodburn, but how likely is it that a treant reacts the same way? Not to mention all the animals.
Zalraka.
Yes? Did you... Two things. There's a treant who is affected by the corruption, which makes it likely that it isn't the Bloodburn that's causing this. Secondly, there are strange pools further down the jungle, and they seem to be tainted somehow. I doubt this was
Tainted, you say? But...
What?
I think it's time to let Arlen in on the results of our little expedition. Come, let's talk at the square.
Zarek guides me.
Arlen, our new friend found some interesting news that might be worth talking about.
Interesting.
While you were busy praying our sorrows away, our new friend took the initiative and did some scouting. Care to tell him what we found?
Well, the corruption is neither caused by the Bloodburn nor by the Guardians. There are tainted pools down in the jungle which seem to be responsible.
Pools? But...
Yes, Arlen. They've been tainted.
What do you mean? What are those pools and how do we cleanse them from the taint?
They are, how should I put it, the life source of this forest. Apparently there's a cave full of Aria and Lenya beneath Leafshade, which is one of the reasons why this forest is so lush.
So the water is... magical?
Well, not exactly, but it's vital to the forest's survival. If it has somehow been corrupted, which your story suggests it has, that's bad.
And how do we cleanse them? Is this even possible?
Yes, but it's not an easy task. We'll need a lot of resources for that. And our most capable commander, Gilius, is not in Leafshade.
Well, if you want to, I can help.
I'm not.
If we do that, give you the command over this place until the problem is solved, do you promise...
Arlen, what?
Do you promise?
Yes, I do.
Good. Then I will instruct the citizens to follow your command. For now, at least. As I said, cleansing the pools is complicated, but possible. In order to do that...
I will do my best. What do we do once we've secured one of those pools?
Instruct our workers to cleanse them and make sure they are protected. If the animals are as savage as you claim, then they might...
Understood.
Good. Varden, send...
Well, that was quick. Let's make sure not to blow our chance.
Fair enough. If we want the elves to be able to perform the rituals on those altars, we'll need to secure a path for them first.
Agreed. Fine.
Finally.